There are moments in life that feel small on the outside, but echo deeply within. One such moment is the choice to move into a nursing home. It often comes with good intentions: safety, support, simplicity. But what many don't realize is that this one decision can slowly shift the rhythm of your soul. Before you make that choice, let me share what most won't tell you. Before we begin, if this message speaks to your heart, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and type "I choose wisdom" in the comments to join others on this journey of mindful living. The first truth you must hear is this: independence isn't taken all at once. It fades quietly, like sunlight at dusk. When I entered the nursing home, I believed I was simply trading chores for convenience. But soon I noticed the subtle erosion of freedom. My day no longer belonged to me. Meals were served by the clock, not hunger. Walks were granted through approval, not impulse. And my favorite chair, replaced with a bed I didn't choose in a room that wasn't mine. It's easy to think these are minor things, but they are the sacred rituals that form a life. When they are lost, a piece of identity fades with them. Freedom isn't just about big decisions. It lives in the small ones we make each day. Inside these walls, time moves on a different current. The schedule tells you when to rise, when to sleep, and when you may go outside. And even when you adjust, the feeling of being a guest in your own life never quite leaves. I remember reaching for my old book one morning, only to realize that it wasn't there. Neither was the shelf I used to keep it on. Those familiar things, the ones that hold your memories, don't always follow you into a nursing home. They're replaced with neutral colors, unfamiliar voices, and polite routines. And while the intention may be care, what you begin to feel is quiet disconnection. Over time, you adapt because the alternative is resistance, and resistance makes daily life harder. So, you learn to go with the flow. You stop asking to change the menu. You wait your turn to use the garden. You learn to smile even when your soul feels unseen. And in doing so, you begin to forget the version of yourself that once chose everything freely. You start to shrink into the environment, not because you want to, but because everything around you gently insists that you do. If you're thinking about this path, pause and ask yourself, are you ready to surrender the sacred rhythm of your day-to-day life? Because once it's given, it rarely returns. There is a quiet ache that creeps in, not from the body, but from the soul, and it's called being forgotten. When I first entered the home, my family made promises they truly believed. We'll visit often. We'll call. You won't feel alone. And for a while, they did. Familiar faces, warm hugs, stories of the outside world. They brought the scent of home into a place that didn't quite feel like mine. But as time passed, those visits became less frequent. Calls were replaced with messages. "Sorry, this week is busy." And slowly, the world outside continued, without me. That's the part no one warns you about. The slow fading from people's routines. Not because they stop loving you, but because distance creates forgetfulness. In the nursing home, you begin to witness a strange ritual. Elders sitting quietly near the front door, eyes fixed on the entrance, waiting. Hope wrapped in silence. I remember the day I realized I had become one of them. My hand hovered over the phone for half an hour, deciding whether or not to call my son. I didn't want to sound needy. I didn't want to feel like a burden. That's what this place can do to you. It takes people who once commanded boardrooms, raised families, baked birthday cakes, and turns them into silent wishers waiting to be remembered. It is not the absence of company that hurts most, but the absence of being thought. And yet, no one tells you this before you move in. No brochure says, "Prepare to feel left behind." But the loneliness is not always loud. Sometimes, it shows up in small ways. Empty chairs at holiday dinners, birthdays remembered late, stories no longer shared. Your absence becomes normal for them, and they assume you're doing fine. You're in good hands now, they say. And yes, maybe you are, but no nurse, no activity schedule, no meal tray replaces the feeling of being missed. Connection is what makes us human, and without it, days blur together. It's not just about being visited. It's about being part of something bigger than these walls. So, if you're listening now, wondering if this path is for you or someone you love, ask yourself a simple question. When was the last time you truly felt seen, heard, and needed? Because a nursing home might offer safety, but it cannot promise presence. The people you love may not forget you intentionally, but forgetting doesn't always look like silence. Sometimes it looks like busyness. Sometimes it sounds like next weekend. And sometimes it just means you slowly vanish from the rhythm of their life. And that is a sorrow you carry quietly. A sorrow I hope you never have to hold. There's a difference between being alive and truly living. And that difference is purpose. Before the nursing home, my life had rhythm, even in small ways. I had little routines. I watered my plants, I brewed my own coffee, just the way I liked it. I folded laundry while listening to music that reminded me of better years. Each of these moments, though ordinary, made me feel needed. But once I moved into the home, those rituals vanished. Meals were handed to me, laundry disappeared, and returned folded by someone else. At first, it felt like a luxury, but slowly, it began to feel like a quiet theft. With every task removed, a reason to move, to think, to engage, was taken with it. It was then I met George. He was 84 and had been a carpenter most of his life. His hands bore the marks of years spent building, shaping, creating. But here, in the home, there were no tools, no wood, nothing to fix. I saw the light in his eyes fade with each passing week. He once told me, "I feel like I've gone from being useful to being managed." That sentence stayed with me, because it's not just about boredom, it's about the deep human need to feel like your actions matter, like you are still contributing to the world in some way, even if it's small. The truth is, purpose doesn't retire just because you do. Your spirit still longs to grow, to offer, to connect. But in a place designed to make life easier, ease often replaces engagement. You're not expected to do, so you stop doing, and soon the body follows the mind. You sit longer, speak less, think softer. Without purpose, life loses color. Time stretches on, but it carries no weight. The days become echoes of each other, and even though your heart still beats, it begins to feel like you've quietly stepped off the stage of your own life. So I ask you this, what gives your life meaning today? Is it something you can bring with you? Is it something that can survive a space where decisions are made for you? Because once you cross the threshold, rediscovering your purpose is not impossible, but it is harder, and for many, it becomes a quiet grief. So, if you're considering this path, don't just ask if the place is safe or clean. Ask if your soul will still have something to wake up for, because the body may grow older, but the spirit will always seek something to belong to. One of the deepest regrets I carry is believing that leaving the nursing home would be as easy as entering. I walked in with hope, telling myself it was just a trial. If I don't like it, I'll go back, I said. But I quickly learned, returning is rarely simple. Your home, the one you leave behind, doesn't wait frozen in time. Things change. Furniture is sold, routines are forgotten, and your old life begins to dissolve the moment you step away from it. Family members, meaning well, might begin rearranging your world, removing what they think you no longer need. And by the time you think of returning, the pieces don't fit anymore. Worse still, the physical strength and confidence you once had may no longer be there to support your decision. I met others who shared the same story. Just for a while, they said. And yet, months turned into years. Some wanted to leave, but were too weak. Others had sold their homes or used up their savings on care. The safety net that was promised became a web they couldn't escape. The system is not built for return. And when your health slowly declines in an environment designed to assist, you forget what you're capable of. The independence that once felt natural now feels like a mountain too steep to climb. And so, not because you've chosen it, but because leaving has become too difficult to imagine. The loss of privacy and dignity may be gradual, but it is real. Shared spaces, staff entering without waiting, needing help with things that once required no thought, it chips away at something sacred. You are not just adjusting to a new place, you are adjusting to a new version of yourself, one that feels smaller, more dependent, and often invisible. And while kindness may still exist, it does not replace the quiet pain of being treated like a task instead of a person. I don't say this to inspire fear, but to offer truth. Not all homes are cruel. Not all families forget. But the decision to move into a place where your life is no longer your own should never be taken lightly. If I could speak to my younger self, I'd say this: fight for your freedom a little longer. Explore every alternative. Get the help you need, at home. And ask the hardest question of all: am I truly ready to give up the rhythm of my own life? Because once you step through that door, the life behind it may not wait for you. If this message touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and type "I honor my life" in the comments below. Your words remind others that their story still matters. Thank you for being here.